Hey, welcome back to Control the Narrative. I'm your girl T, your chief controller, and today we are here with something a little different. And for some of you that are returners, you know my girl Miriam. I'm going to be here with two incredible women, okay? And we got some chatting to do. We got some stories to share and some conversation to be had. I'm introducing you to Jennifer Velez, Velez. That's not a name maybe you've heard, maybe you've seen her on social media, but when you meet her today, when you meet her today, you won't forget her, I promise. So we're gonna chat about her story and the fun factory at the pier and anything else that comes up particularly related to her story. So without further ado, let's find out who's controlling the narrative today. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Miriam. How's it going?
Hi.
Hi, nice to see everyone.
Absolutely. So, Miriam, what you been up to? Introduce yourself to the people that may not know you.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Mariam Butler. I'm a 20 plus year resident here in Redondo Beach, California. I'm a mom. I've got two great kids in Redondo Beach schools. I own a small business. I'm a physical therapist by training. I also serve as a representative that advocates for healthcare workers in a healthcare workers union. So I'm really happy to be here, and but I'm glad we finally got a chance to get back together today so that we could talk all about the things that are going on in Redondo because so much has happened since the last time we were able to get together.
Absolutely. Jennifer.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Velez. I'm a digital marketing strategist, an ethnographer, a DEI practitioner, and most importantly, my best role being a mom. I spent years in corporate America until last year. I transitioned out of corporate, and now I'm running my own thing on the side, High Key Consulting, where I provide digital marketing strategy and DEI consulting.
Awesome. Awesome. So, it's been a while since we've gotten together. And like Miriam said, it's actually been too long and a lot of stuff's going on. So, one of the most important, I won't even say most important things, I think one of the most hilarious things that has gone on recently is finding out that the fun factory at the pier in Redondo that shut down is going to be reopened to a similar concept, even though those that were in leadership worked hard to get it shut down. Like, I'm so confused. Miriam, what do you know about this?
Okay, so we used to have something called the Fun Factory on the Redondo Beach Pier. It closed in 2019 because it was in an effort to make way for a developing company called CenterCal. That the intent was to, basically redo the whole entire pier. I don't know if you guys have been to like Second and PCH in Long Beach, but if you haven't, look it up. That's the company that made Second and PCH in Long Beach is the same company that was interested in reinvigorating our pier. A lot of the residents here in Redondo Beach, like our pier is old. I mean, it's been there for a long time. It's got some great things at the pier. I got a few favorite spots there. It's a fun place, but it's needs help. Like there's areas where things are falling apart. If you look at the pier, the structure, it is very old. So we did have an opportunity to rejuvenate it. People, there was a big fight about it here in Redondo, huge fight, like the pro Center Cal versus the anti Center Cal. Center Cal is now a bad word here in Redondo Beach, but essentially the people they voted no to Center Cal. So now we have what we have at the pier. But because that fun factory had closed, whatever the lease wasn't renewed, I don't know was because they were closed in 2019. It's just been kind of sitting empty. And now we're in 2026, 7 years later. Long story short, sounds like there is a plan. Another company has essentially, I don't know, signed a lease to be there. It's going to be bowling. It's going to be some fun stuff. So the people in Redondo Beach are excited to basically have that space filled again with kind of like a family friendly activities company to take that over.
I'm going to be interested to
And
see
that's
what that traffic is like with the skaters down there now, because that wasn't there before, right? So is that going to be good, bad, or otherwise? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, Jennifer.
So as somebody who lived just a couple of blocks away from the pier, I feel like we desperately need something there. I don't know if this is the best fit, but I feel like it needs a facelift of some kind. So I'm just happy to see something happening, but that doesn't mean what's happening is a good thing that's happening.
Yep.
If you had your choice, what would you like to see down there?
Something family oriented, like I feel like it's not even a place where you want to bring people. Like, what is there to see and do? You know what I mean? Like, it's like run down and ragged in its current situation. Like, it just needs something. People are gonna be floored that I said that, but like, it's true. I'm not somebody who's from California originally. I've lived all over the world, and I have people come in and visit me, and I get so excited to like take them out, and then I'm like, yeah,
Can't
we're
take me
gonna.
there.
Yeah, I don't want to take you there. It's like a little embarrassing.
Little bit. Well, while I have you, Jennifer, let's go ahead and get into your story that you're sharing with us today.
Yeah, so a little bit of background. Like I said before, I'm not originally from California. I grew up in New York, but I actually moved to California in 2020 and I had an interesting experience. So growing up, I had spent a lot of time in California throughout my life, but growing up in New York, I always thought of California as second New York, equally as progressive. Turns out that is not the case. I was in Redondo Beach for a total of 5 years. We left what was supposed to be temporarily. We had like a toxic black mold issue in our home, and we're living in Airbnbs. We still are, but right now we're currently in the desert. During my time in Redondo Beach, it was interesting to say the least. Again, ethnographer, DEI strategist here. And when I see something inappropriate or an ism of some kind, I'm going to call it out. I'm not the person who's going to stay quiet. And I learned very quickly that Redondo Beach preferred me to be a quiet little woman who didn't speak up. And unfortunately, there was just a misalignment there because that's not who I am.
I hear you. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up this board, and then you take it from there.
Yeah. So a few weeks ago, Lisa Youngsworth, who I'm sure many of the Redondo Beach residents know from the Redondo Beach Residents Group, posted this billboard. Can someone please translate this billboard located on PCH and Ruby, wondering why it isn't in English so more of us can understand it? Thanks. The billboard is essentially, for those of us who, for those who can't understand it, is saying, are you concerned about firearms and your kids' access to them, right? And it's an organization, a nonprofit, that specifically targets and markets towards Spanish-speaking families, which is why the billboard is in Spanish. I don't like Lisa's choice of words here. So more of us can understand it. I mean, I understood it. There's plenty of people in the community who can understand it. I walk through life knowing that not everything that I see is catering to me. Maybe that's because I do marketing for a living. I don't know. But I also just don't walk through life with the expectation that everything in my environment is to be catered to me. There are things I'm going to come across that just aren't for me. So if you go to the next picture, there's a bit of a conversation back and forth. I say it's an organization that works to educate Spanish-speaking families, as I explained to y'all before. She doesn't like my word choice. She appreciates the explanation, but I was being rude. So here's the thing. I don't personally see myself as being rude there. I'm neurodivergent, so maybe I'm a bit direct. I'm from New York, so maybe I'm a bit direct. But I also like to stick to logic and facts and leave opinions out of it when I'm dressed. Like, that's what I'm trained to do as a DEI leader. She apparently doesn't like that. She wanted something softer.
Can you read the comments for the people that might not be able to see it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I commented, it's an organization that works to educate Spanish-speaking families about the dangers of firearms amongst youth, which is why it is in Spanish to prioritize Spanish-speaking families, because that is the purpose of the organization. It is a billboard, which means it was a paid ad, which means it is marketing. You personally are not the target audience for everything. Lisa then responds to me, I appreciate the explanation, but no need to be rude to me. What's not seen there is my reply, where I explain, it's taken down now, so you won't see it if you go look in the group, but something to the effect of, I wasn't being rude. I'm explaining in facts what the billboard is for, essentially. I ended up making a series on Instagram discussing the situation, and not only that situation, but various other instances of racism and egregious behavior that I experienced during my time in Redondo Beach. Jill Weintraub, I don't know how to say it, Clausen, is the moderator of the group. And when the first of the series dropped, she immediately messaged me and was so apologetic and was like, I needed a mental health break from the group, so I put Lisa in charge. That was obviously a bad idea. Sorry that you had that issue. And I was like, oh, well, it's worse. You've only seen one of the videos so far. Just know that there's more. She ended up removing me from the group and deleting the post. Jill was apologetic and went back and added me to the group, and then followed me on all social media accounts and connected with me on all social media accounts. And then I told her, like, just so you know, like, thank you for adding me to the group again, but I'm still going to drop the rest of the series. Like, I told my followers to hold on for the rest of the story. I'm not going to just leave them hanging and not drop the rest of the story, because you adding me back to the group doesn't like eradicate her racism. Like, it's still there and it still needs to be seen. So the series focused on, or it was titled something like how we go from Facebook group racism and end up with ICE being like a regular part of our lives, because there is a direct pipeline to the everyday small instances of microaggressions that happen in communities that are not called out and addressed, and get to, you know, perpetuate harm and grow and thrive. It's like mold, essentially. To end up having like our community members being, you know, shot and killed by ICE in the streets. Like, that is a reality. But for some people who don't have to live and experience that or pay attention to that, they just like to live in this world where if I delete your post, I never said it. But unfortunately for them, I always keep receipts.
Miriam, what are your thoughts on this?
So, you know, first of all, I completely agree with everything Jen is saying, which is why we connected so strongly, because 100% she's right. I personally, I'm with her. I don't walk around. If I see a billboard or if I see something, I'm kind of like, okay, that is obviously not directed to me, whether it's in Spanish or any other language. Number one. Number two, I was just thinking, all of us pretty much have smartphones, and pretty much all of them have a translate. There's no need to post that on the internet. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me why this woman, Lisa, would feel the need to post that particular question when she could easily pick up her phone and translate what it says if she was so interested to know what that means. I kind of feel like it was purposeful. I think it was a way for her to see who she could like kind of get on her side, to start talking about like, oh yeah, you know, these people, I just got that kind of a sense because of the way she wrote it. And I think when Jennifer basically just called it out as a fact and was like, this is what it says. This is who the target audience is. You're not the target audience. And then for her reaction, I think it was because she felt like she got caught. And then what's so interesting to me is I didn't know that then this Jill contacted Jennifer to tell her apologizing and all these other things. And then to see what she wrote on social media was really odd. You had it up just a moment ago. If you don't mind pulling it back up, Jill wrote. Jill wrote.
Hold on, let me comment actually quickly. Sorry for interrupting you. I want to comment quickly because, you know, the first two videos, Jill was all on board for, you know, what I was saying, and was apologetic and, you know, trying to connect with me across various other platforms, etc. And like trying to share tea about secrets I can find in Joshua Tree and trying to, you know, create this like false friendship. And then some time went by and I dropped part 3 and then eventually part 4 of the series, where part 4 of the series was supposed to be the end, and it was supposed to be like the final like lesson that Jill missed out on, that she obviously needed to be present for. But part 3 triggered her fragility so intensely that she reacted so strongly and was mad that I posted it. And I'm like, girl, sit down, because I already told you I was going to post the rest of the series. I wasn't going to just be like, oh, you came to apologize, so now Lisa gets to be a racist in hiding. So absolutely not. And she was all like, oh, well, nobody's going to see this and Lisa doesn't follow you on Instagram. Girl, I'm not posting it for Lisa. That's not the lesson here. Can you put up?
Yeah, and by the way, go back to lesson 1. Not everything is for you.
For you. Yeah, exactly. Like, I swear. Can you go to the other picture of the
comments or the billboard?
The comments with Jill.
Okay, perfect. Here we go.
Yeah, so Jill again, she connected with me across all platforms, right? So she was commenting both on my Instagram and on my Facebook at the same damn time for some odd reason, and having two very different conversations, which I thought was interesting too. Like, talk about controlling the narrative. She was certainly trying to control the narrative, but she was not doing a very good job. So she commented on my Facebook post because it automatically posted up to Facebook. She doesn't support Trump at all. You know, I agree with you, but if you're going to call people out, you have an obligation to get your facts right too. And I said, can you please point out where I said she supports Donald Trump? Actual question. I wasn't I'm sorry. I'm autistic. I ask questions to like gain clarity of a situation. Like, I'm allowed to ask questions, but when you are a fragile person and live in this world where you believe that you have the power and authority, nobody is allowed to come with you to questions, right? Like, she loves to say she's anti-fascism, but she is a fascist, which we'll highlight through the rest of these comments. So I said, can you please point out where I said she supports Donald Trump? And she could have literally just sent the screenshot with a highlight or anything else, but she decided to call me a disingenuous bitch. And she said, and given her supreme leader, and she highlighted where I wrote, and given her supreme leader D dump. And like, this is the thing, as I said in my comments, that's weird. That's a weird reaction because I'm from New York, so I'll throw a fucking bitch around as much as I want and don't think anything of it. But my thing is like, why the hell? I'm asking you a question. Like, why is that your response? And so I wrote, weird. He is my supreme leader and your supreme leader too. He's also a white supremacist, so he thinks he is supreme. So I said, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this on YouTube, but I'm going to say it anyway. Fuck off, cunt. Don't come to my page here or on Instagram or any page of mine defending racism and calling me a bitch, because how do you not see the, like, the straight up isms all in just you showing up to my private page to call me a bitch? Like, how do you not see that that's inappropriate? And she just couldn't handle the fragility that day. But unfortunately for her, like, I don't show up to any social media or any day in life to comfort those who are fragile. Like, she's going to have to learn, and it might not be today, but unfortunately for Jill, she called me a disingenuous bitch and then started messaging me privately on Facebook and on Instagram, calling me a cunt and all of these things. I ended up blocking her. And she told me that before I blocked her, she was telling me that I was lying and making this up. And I don't know how I could possibly be making it up. Like, it happened in public, girl. And I've got all these receipts anyway.
And then Miriam, who is Jill? What, do I know her? Do you know her?
I have seen her like at city council, like the few times I've showed up to city council to actually, advocate for legitimate issues that are happening in the city, advocating for like our schools or advocating for the city. And I've shown up a few times. She's there. She's actually very disgusting. I'm not surprised to hear anything that Jen is saying. You know, she's just looks awful, is awful, behaves awful. It's just an overall not a good person. It's good that you blocked her. She's not anyone of any importance, to be honest, because it's not like she does anything, I don't think. I don't know what her background is. I have no idea. I don't think she's provided any type of improvement to humanity, But, I'm a physical therapist, so all I do is help people all the time. But I'm not really sure what this person has done outside of being disrespectful to people on social media.
And what about Lisa? Tell the people who Lisa is.
Mariah Carey, I don't know her. I've seen her again, here and there. She has, I don't know if it's her husband, boyfriend, partner. I don't know. His name is, I always call, hold on, I want to call him by his actual name, Wayne Craig, because I have other.
That horrible cretin.
Yeah, this Wayne Craig, he thinks he's not elected. He's an unelected person who inserts himself into everything and anything in the South Bay. He's on various committees, again, that he was appointed to, unelected. I don't really know what he does. Again, I'm not sure if these people work or have jobs. I have no idea how they contribute positively to society.
No. Wayne is the one that's on the fraud and scam website, the realtor that wouldn't show Black people homes in the South Bay. Oh. So just to let you know, if you want to look up Lisa's boo thing, his name is Wayne Craig, and he is on a few different sites for his behavior as a real estate professional who acts very unprofessionally. Jennifer, as you're continuing to wonder who these people are. Mm-hmm.
No, it's helpful. And Jill is the moderator of the group. And this is the thing, is like I can get with them with some dark woke sometimes. Like I'm angry and pissed. You know what I mean? We've just been backsliding like since forever. I mean, like in 2020, we had all these white women who were like, oh, we're gonna have book clubs and stuff, and we realized Black people exist, so we're gonna care about them now. And it's like we've done nothing but backslide since 2020. Many of us have been in the game since way before 2020. That's a whole other probably episode. But like Jill is the moderator. You know, she can come across very intensely. And she likes to believe that it's from a place of like being deeply passionate about justice. But what Jill is deeply passionate about is power over others. And she has felt likely, I don't know her therapist personally, and I don't know if she has one because her behavior says she doesn't. But like her behavior says that she has likely experienced, you know, her own subjugation in life. And so she is fighting it back against that. And like, that does have the power to, you know, push people forth in justice spaces. And I think it can be really helpful as like something to propel people forward. But the thing is that if while you're propelling yourself forward, you're trying to step on all the other marginalized people and multi-marginalized people in your way, you have lost the plot. So like you can run all of your social media and your group thinking that you are like, you know, this staunch, fierce justice warrior. But if you are deleting posts, deleting people from the group every time you don't like what they have to say, you're actually not about justice. You're a fascist. You just don't happen to support the fascist, racist pedophile in your office right now, but you're fascist too. Like there's really not a difference. So yeah, that's my take on Jill. And like the other thing, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm looking at this billboard again, and I just want to put this in context because we do live in the United States of America, and we are in California, and in any part, because I'm from the Bay, live in LA, I could be driving from one part to the other, and let's say I'm driving through Koreatown or I'm driving through Chinatown. I'm going to see billboards that have other languages on them. Am I going to pitch a bitch about it? Am I going to make comments about it? No, this is giving very much, we're in America, speak American. You should practice your religion in your country, as if people aren't born here that speak other languages and practice other religions. What you nailed about Lisa is very much who she is. And at any point, trying to act like, oh, you didn't have to talk to me like that. Glad she wasn't talking to me because, ma'am, I have a few choice words for you and your boo. They're horrible people. They're disgusting individuals. And what you picked up is exactly what she was putting down. Like, she's trying to play you. She playing in your face. She was trying to gaslight you. You knew exactly what you were saying when you said it. You just didn't think. She thought that she was in her community of people that are going to applaud the dumb shit she was saying. That's what that was.
Yeah. And I think that oftentimes people who don't experience these isms or like work in the spaces or are fighting for actual justice, they see these incidents as like small little minute things that happen in time, little blips, right? Because they don't have emotional connection to it. And what she doesn't understand is that experience is actually tied to a much deeper narrative of things that I've experienced and witnessed in Redondo Beach, right? Like I had a special education in Redondo Beach when we were assessing my child my child's already been diagnosed with autism, but when we were assessing for schooling and what school placement was going to be, explained to me that maybe my child wasn't autistic. Maybe the issue was that I was speaking to them in Arabic. Because apparently it's not only vaccines now that cause autism and Tylenol, it's also speaking Arabic. Like, come on. So it's like when you're posting billboards like this and in a group where there's like diverse community members, or there should be allowed to be diverse community members, it's like, why do you only see like what serves you? You know, like before we hopped on, I was telling y'all a quick story about, you know, being at Trader Joe's and stuck in that jam of when you're trying to get around the loop to find a parking spot. And I had a BLM sticker on the back of my car and my 4-year-old in the car. And some man came over and started banging on my child's window saying that I was an N-word lover. Like, what? This is not normal behavior in a community, right? Like, I mean, I was even elected for the special education parent board for the school and a DEI leader for the parent board. And they removed me from my position because I suggested that we watch a movie called Reimagining Safety, a documentary by Matthew Solomon, who I think the documentary would help create like perspective and more equity for our Black and Brown disabled students within the school community. And they removed me from my elected position for even writing an email about it. Like, it's wild, the things that happen. So yeah, I'm going to be offended, and I'm going to speak up for my community members that are getting, and Latinos that are getting arrested and shot and killed in the streets right now by ICE. Like, I'm absolutely, because your small town little Facebook marketplace or Facebook group racism, it perpetuates and it grows. And that's why we are living in a time where we have concentration camps. Like, it's a direct pipeline.
Your thoughts, Mariam?
No, 100% agree. That's the thing that's dangerous about people like Lisa and Jill, right? They claim they are some kind of minority or whatever, but then they perpetuate things that affect other people. It's one of those things that, like, well, I can't be racist because you are, because what you're doing is, while you are simultaneously, maybe you are advocating for yourself or for your religion that you associate with, or for women or whatever, because you're a woman, but while you're simultaneously disrespecting the rights and people have a right to put up a billboard in another language. That's an example. And for her to post this and say, why isn't it in English? So more of us. Who's us?
Yeah, who's us?
It's that.
Wait, because most of us that have higher education had to get, we had to take foreign language. So I don't know her education level, but what I do know is that we had to take foreign language.
All of us who go to school here, right? Or maybe it's one of those things where it's like, look, like, I'm the majority, and so I need everyone else to make sure that I'm always comfortable. And I don't care that that's not. And that's really what it comes down to. And so I understand what Jen is saying, in that is what perpetuates what we have going on right now. Number one. Number two, when our leader of this country is just saying whatever hateful stuff they're saying, it really has empowered everyone to just say whatever they want to say. That's so rude, so disrespectful. And that's why I made my earlier comments about Jill in particular. When I see her, it's gross, because I know what she says to people. I'm blocked, whatever, she's blocked, whatever, but I have seen her call people a see you next Tuesday. I've seen her call people a BI. I've seen her, use her groups and her power, in Redondo Beach to isolate other people. I've seen that. And that's what I mean by she looks disgusting to me. I see her and I know that behavior. And so it has nothing to do with anything outside of. It grosses me out when I think of someone like Lisa, when I think of a Wayne Craig, when I think of a Jill Clausen, whatever, because I know how much damage their positions that they've held, whether it be elected, well, none of them are elected, but like appointed into committees or have been given some semblance of an authority in a group, that it continues to perpetuate the issues we have here in Redondo. And let's keep it real. Like, they love, the reason why there's a saying here, keep Redondo Beach a small beach town. That's code for keep everyone out.
Those other people out.
This is for us. If you're here, lucky you. And that's it. And they can say as much as, beach life. Well, beach life is temporary. People come and then they leave, right?
And not everybody that lives here goes to the beach.
Oh, I exactly. Or we have the Riviera Village. Come spend money in our restaurants and things, but get out, right? Like that. It is that type of mentality. When you say keep Redondo Beach a small beach town for who? Well, apparently it's for us, right?
Whoever us is, not us.
Look, no, and actually it is us, because we're here. And when people act a fool, we speak out, and they don't like
That's
that.
Right.
Yeah.
So Absolutely. It is us. And how they decide to deal with us is where the rubber meets the road, because they're not going to shut us up, and they can't kick us out. So how are we going to coexist if you want to keep running around here acting like the place is only for you? Like, get out of here. Get out of here with that.
100%. And that's why being involved in local politics is so important, because we do have a very important responsibility, which is to ensure that the people we actually elect, who then get to appoint people into these various committees that run the city, are people of a high quality, high character, and that are in it for the right reasons, which is to be a servant to the community and not for their own, I don't know.
A servant to the whole community, not their own subculture in the community. Like, it doesn't work like that. You don't get in to serve your little subculture in the community. Right. You're serving the community, the whole community.
That's right. And Jen, that's why I'm really proud of you that when you were unceremoniously removed from your position at your school, that then they reached back out to you and said, "Hi, come back." And your response was great, which you're like, "No, you removed me," and you called it out. And I think that's the other thing. People get so uncomfortable when you call out what is the true, real fact, right? I was elected by the PTA or whoever at the school to be in this position, and you removed me unfairly. For what? For advocating?
Like, what else am I supposed to do if not that? Like, why else would I be in this role? Like, that doesn't make any sense, you know? And like, as I said in the end of the series on Instagram, like, if you, sorry, I lost my train of thought here. Something you said. Damn. What was I gonna say?
We talk about all kinds of stuff in Redondo. Just say what's on your mind, because at the end of the day, like, I love that we get together. We don't really have an agenda, so to speak. We're just going to talk about what's going on. And right now, what's going on is that we are right now in a position where we are calling out the leaders or the sub leaders or the appointed by the leaders people, like these people here, the Lisas and the Waynes. We're calling them out, because if you're going to put yourself out there in these positions to hold roles of power, then you need to be held accountable to the things you do and say, and you need to be okay with being called out and to listen and to say, you know what, maybe there's something here, right? Maybe I am acting like a fascist.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Somebody needs to ask them, why does this even, they need to ask themselves, why does this trigger you so much? Why is this triggering to you enough for you to try to put it out there in the public arena so that other people can come and attack Spanish speaking individuals? That's exactly what this is. She was triggered. She said something. She put it out in a public forum because she wanted more people, kind of like a Klansman, to join in and start bashing another culture. What triggers you to do something like that? I really want to know. Like, I want her to say, what triggers me about brown people and Spanish speakers? Because that's what happened. The rest of us go through our lives daily seeing other languages and don't get triggered to take a picture and post and talk trash. Like, what's wrong with you, girl?
Post and then even say it's on PCH and Ruby, guys. It's South Redondo.
How dare they have Spanish
I can tell you
speaking?
exactly where that is from looking at the picture. Like, if this is for the people who live here and you're so concerned, then we know where that picture was taken. It was outside my old Botox clinic. I know where it is. And like, you know, when she says the thing that I want to challenge here too is like, she and people who look like her and speak like her might be the majority in Redondo Beach. But honey, you're the minority when you look at the global perspective, and we live on a whole planet, okay? And you are not the majority when you analyze from that perspective. So it's like, I get so frustrated with this like us mentality. Us who, you know, like, be real.
Exactly. Thank you, Jennifer, because many of us, by the way, hi, we do have a dual immersion program in Redondo Beach schools. You guys know that? A lot of our kids speak Spanish, and a lot of our community members speak Spanish, and a lot of our community members speak Mandarin, and they speak Arabic and a variety of other languages. And how about, I don't know, maybe you can go learn another language yourself so you can feel like you are, you know, maybe included in the us of it all, in the planet.
I don't know. rethink that, because when Redondo Beach Public Schools decided they were going to start celebrating Arab Heritage Month, they put out this like whole post. It was like PR nightmare. Like you would lose your mind, Tanya. They wrote ARB Heritage Month all over everything. I was like, it's not a 4-letter word. Like, you really had to mess it up that severely. Like, you couldn't even manage. Like, so it's like,
so they took Arab and put ARB. So they would take
it was like
Arab.
A misspelling, but it had 5 signatures from the school board, and I'm like, how did 5 people sign that? Nobody realized. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Sounds like a PR issue. I don't know who's in charge over there, but
that's definitely a PR issue. That is. I guess it wasn't for their lack of trying. Was it blame it on my head, not my heart?
Yeah. And they were like, when I said something about it, they were like, we're trying to do better here, and your comments are holding us back. Okay, no, I'm just telling you they spelled Arab wrong. So if you
and it depends on who you're talking to, because they're not all the same. They're not. Look, I'm giving Dan all the kudos. I love Dan and his wife. They be trying, right?
I mean, all I really ask is that you try, right?
They be trying.
It's the not try, right?
That's the not try.
Why is the default not, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I apologize, you're right? Why is that not the default? Why are
Here's the thing. People don't know how to do that. I think
accountability.
People don't know how to do that. That's why crisis communications is a real thing. People really don't, like, dead ass. People really do not know how to do that. And instead of getting training or making sure that someone teaches them the right way to do that, because words matter, they just do it off the cuff, which many times makes the situation worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just does. So
and people have a fear of accountability. And it's like, I mean, we've been struggling with a fear. I mean, as somebody who's been like doing lifelong DEI work, like we have struggled with accountability, like in this country and globally for as long as I've been around, which is 40 years. But like, we definitely are at the peak of struggling with the concept of accountability, because look who we have running this country, right? No accountability for a single thing. And that is perpetuating this environment where nobody has to be held accountable for a single thing that they do. And everybody is allowed to be incredibly fragile. I mean, you say the word white supremacy, or the phrase white supremacy, everybody wants to shudder. You just say the word white, I could be talking about the fucking color on my walls and people like freak out. Like, I don't understand what is the problem. Y'all invented this concept of race. So now all of a sudden me talking about colors is problematic and scary. What's the issue?
That's a good point. That's
one step forward and 10 steps back with where we are right now. Listen, I want to thank you guys for being here and having this conversation. Let the people know how they can get in touch with you, how they can follow you, what you're up to, all the good things, where you're at on Instagram, yada, yada, yada. Jen?
Yeah, so I am still temporarily in the desert. I don't know if it's temporary. It's been a year now, so we'll see where I land. I will say that all of these things we discussed today are the thing that keeps me from going back to Redondo Beach. And I'm like, I don't even know if I want to return, which is sad. But you can catch me on LinkedIn. I'm pretty vocal there. Whether you like that or not isn't really my problem, but I'm going to continue to be vocal. It's Jennifer L. Velez. If you search that, you'll find me. You can find me on Instagram at jenniferl.velez. And then I have a new podcast launching, Voted Most Likely Pod. It's voted most likely to get kicked out of your local moms group, which feels really relevant today of all days. We haven't launched yet, but we'll be launching in the fall, and posts started going up today. So you can also check me out at Voted Most Likely Pod.
All right.
Look, if you're really interested in following me, you can follow me on Scoliosis DPT on Instagram, because that is my specialty, scoliosis rehab. It's what I do. Feel free to follow me there. Otherwise, if you don't have an interest in scoliosis rehab, you really don't need to find me, because most likely if I know you, it's because you're my friend. And if I don't know you, then that's okay. All right.
Dude, she is hilarious. You're hilarious. So look, let's not let it take this long for us to get together again. But it's the conversation, guys. If this hit different, do me a favor, subscribe to the YouTube channel and make sure that you stay connected. Drop a comment below and tell me what's the one issue that you feel like
I think we lost your audio.
I would love to know what we didn't cover that you would like for us to cover. So drop it in the comments. Let me know what you think. And for a deeper dive, I don't know, just get in the comments because we'll answer. Anything you ask us, we'll answer. We ain't scared. You know what I'm saying? We ain't scared. So until next time, make sure you always control the mic, control the camera, control the room, and always control the narrative. We'll see you later.